Oh my goodness. You don't have to be smart to do this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You just have to do it. All right, all right.
Yay, he's back. Motivation
Yeah,
podcast
hello.
with your host, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
Yes, yes, we are living our best life. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Motivational Monday with myself, Eric F. King, and our incredible panel of experts. We have today Leah Garcia, Zan Anagaru, and Eni Osong. And we are super excited because of the topic we have today, which we believe will help a lot of people. Okay, if you're on live, we definitely want to hear from you. Definitely put your comments in the chat. Just say good morning and let us know where you're zooming in from. All right, and then later on we're gonna answer your questions. All right. So the topic for today is what to do when you feel like giving up on your business. And if you are in business and you never felt this way before, you haven't been in business long enough. if things are going perfectly in your business, you haven't done this long enough. Okay. If you don't have any challenges, you haven't been in business long enough, right? So it's part of business, right? To feel that way, and we all go through that. They all go through that. The example I like to use is Bezos, who is the founder of Amazon. He, for 7 years, he didn't make a dime. Like his company didn't make any money for 7 years, right? What if he quit? What if he quit? Right? He ended up becoming one of the most successful businesses in the world. Like I use Amazon every single week, and ended up becoming the richest man in the world. Right? So that is just one example. All right, so we're gonna dive right in. And our first speaker hails from California. All right, and she's excited. She's excited. Anytime if she's not able to show her face, that it's not the same because we can't see that excitement. But today she's here. Here,
You missed me last week. You missed me. I know you did. You missed my face. Okay, that's good.
We did. 4:03 in the morning. She is here to share some wisdom with you. She is our financial strategist. If you want to make money, invest money, all things money, you want to consult with her. You want to download her ebook. And today she's going to give us her take on this topic. And by the way, she is a third-degree black belt in martial arts, which means she is highly disciplined. She knows how to work hard. She doesn't give up, and she doesn't quit. Right? She doesn't quit because you can quit along the way. Like most people quit along the way, but she didn't. Right? So we are going to go all the way to California to hear from my good friend Leah Garcia. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Eric F. King of Collaboration. Well, happy Money Monday, champions. You are here because you are a champion. You are made the decision to show up for yourself today, and I'm giving you a round of applause for that. My name is Leah Garcia, financial strategist and insurance professional, and it's really my crusade to help you properly protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth so you can build that legacy and create your own family dynasty. Listen, quitters don't win. They just don't. And so you're here because you're a champion. And what do you do if you have that feeling? Listen, like Eric said, if you ever never felt like quitting, then you probably haven't been in business for long. We're talking about long term. I'm going to give you 3 golden nuggets on what you can do if you're feeling like quitting on your business, if you feel like you just can't take another step. Okay. So number 1, listen, it's just 1 degree of separation from where you are to where you want to be. If you knew how close you were, you would have it bring a different energy. You would show up differently. You would wake up at 2:33 in the morning to be on a Zoom this morning, right? Because it's just that 1 degree. Think about it. Water is hot at 212 degrees, but it boils at 200. Water is hot at 211 degrees, but it boils at 212 degrees. It's just that 1 degree. It just takes one more thing. Winning is a marathon, but it's a marathon of sprints. We have to go from short burst to quick burst to short burst to quick burst. And you're going to find yourself having success long term. That's why you have to celebrate those seemingly small wins. When you have that win that seems small, you got to celebrate it. But I love to do the celebration with an F, right? With a free thing. Find something you can do that's free, that doesn't cost you a bunch of money. Go for a walk, have a nice glass of fresh water, put some blueberries in it. Do something that to celebrate those wins. Number 2, you are one connection, one person, one conversation away from where you are to where you want to be. Now think about this. We used to say it's 6 degrees of separation from meeting anyone in the world. With social media, I bet that's down to maybe 2 or 3 degrees of separation. So who is that person? Who are those people? What is that group that if they saw your business, it would totally transform what you're doing today? Who's that list? Make that list and start talking about that. Start making that at your intention to meet those people. And guess what? You will find it, because if your network is not opening doors for you, you're in the wrong room, right? You got to find that network that is vibrating at that same level, and you will be dazzled and amazed what doors will be opened for you. That door has that key that will open up all the treasures for you. All the candy, all the gold is in that. Number 3, this is a hard one. But I didn't get up at 2:33 to give you puppy dogs and ponies. This is the one that you need to star. You got to circle this, you got to underline it, and it's tough, okay? But we're champions. I promise you we can get through it. 10x is easier than 2x. Dr. Benjamin Hardy, PhD, wrote a whole book about this. And this one is difficult. That means that probably 80 to 90% of what you're doing right now, you need to throw it out. Okay? Those are the things we need to stop doing. Stop, start, continue. What do we need to stop doing that's costing us money? What do we need to start doing that we're avoiding? What do you need to start doing in your business that you know if you did it consistently would change your business? And then the things that you continue are the things that are having success, the things that are making you success. And a lot of times people tell me, Leah, all you do is talk about money. Listen, I don't care about money. I just want to have an impact. Well, listen, if you're having an impact, you won't have to chase money. Money will chase you. And here's the thing. Generational wealth isn't a dream. It's a decision. And that's my $2 million cents, Erica. With that, I hand it back to you.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. That was impactful for sure. It's so funny. You talk about, how people say, I don't need money. I just want to help people. You know what's interesting? When I didn't have any money, I didn't think about helping anybody. It's hard to help people when you're broke. It really is. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't wake up saying, okay, who can I help today? I'm thinking, who can I borrow money from to pay my rent? That's what I'm thinking, So yeah. So it's when you have money in the bank, trust me, you can help more people. All right. You can help more people. So appreciate that, Leah. And I love what you talk about, 10x. I read this book I listened to it on Audible, 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. I probably listened to it 25 times. So people will say, well, why would you listen to it 25 times? Well, why do you watch movies over and over? You don't benefit from that. I benefit from this. All right. Yeah, because, it changes your perspective, right? When you consume information like that helps you. It changes your perspective. All right. So let's keep moving. Okay. Yes, he is here. Our next speaker hails all the way from Nigeria in West Africa. He's known all over the world for what he does. And if you see his name right there, he's Mr. Positive Energy. So we know what he does, right? People hire him from everywhere. Like, I've hired him. A lot of people I know have hired him to help them in their business, in their businesses and their mindset. And with our topic today, what he talks about definitely relates to this. So without further ado, Zion Anagru, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric F. King. Any old song and Leah Garcia. It's always a privilege to be here on a Monday morning to kick off the week on a very high note with amazing persons like you all. And then to everyone in the listening lounge, thank you so much for joining us again and kicking off the Monday with us. Now, it's a very interesting topic. It's a topic that is very personal to me. And I believe that everyone can resonate with it. And I tell you, in business, a lot of people will take the easy route to work for people, work and get paid. Only a few persons go into the journey of owning a business or being an entrepreneur. Why? Because it's not always easy. It's not always easy the way you want it to be. It's tough, it's challenging, things will happen. You feel like giving up most of the time. You feel like it's not working out. You make the sacrifice. But at the end of the day, for as many persons who can hold on, who can keep on, who can remain committed and consistent, will definitely reap the fruit of being in business. And I tell you, facing challenges is not a respecter of anybody. When it comes to business, challenges in business does not respect anybody. It's not a matter of how long you have been in business or how young you are in business. Challenges will always come. But how do you respond when you get to that point you feel like giving up? For me, I'm going to share with you four nuggets, $4 million nuggets. Let me take a lead from Leah right now. That will change your life as a business person. When you hit that rock bottom, when you hit that point where you feel like your back is against the wall and you feel like giving up. For me, one of the things I do when I get to that point of giving up is I pray. I'll say this again, I pray. I do not take it for granted. I've been at a point where I feel like I cannot go on anymore. I cannot do this anymore. I pray. I'm a Christian and I'm always proud to say this. Prayers is part of my routine every day. Prayer is part of my life. It's something I cannot do without. And I bring it even in business. A work in business. So prayer is something that works in all areas of our life, especially in business. I pray. I put it in prayer. I talk to God. And secondly, when you get to the point where you feel like giving up, your mind is overwhelmed. Your mind is filled with so much thought. What do? I translate the thought in my mind into writings. I will say that again. I translate the thoughts, the fear, the overwhelming feeling, the anxiety I'm feeling at that point in time into writing by journaling down how I feel. Because how you feel is valid. If you feel like giving up, it is valid. You are really feeling like giving up. But then what do? I translate them because sometimes when we're thinking about these things in our head, it can get so overwhelming. It's so big, it's so mighty. But when you put them in writing, you get specific. When you put them in writing, you get intentional. Why are you feeling like this? What is that thing that is making me feel like giving up? Why am I thinking the way I'm thinking? You put it in writing, and then the intentionality comes in, where you can think about it constructively instead of just playing in your head, but now it's in writing. You can carefully analyze, you can carefully process the thoughts why you are feeling like giving up, what is happening right now in your business that is making you feel overwhelmed, what is happening in your business right now that is making you feel tired, what's happening in your business right now that is making you feel like I cannot do this anymore. By putting them in writing, it brings the consciousness, it brings the awareness, it allows you to put in perspective everything you are going through. So avoid the trap of thinking everything in your head, because that's when it really gets overwhelmed. That's where it really gets challenging. Make sure you translate the thoughts, the feelings in your head into writings. Journal down, put down the reasons, put down the challenges, and then you begin to analyze it. Thirdly, this is very, very important. If you're in business, please do not do business all alone, thinking you are the rock star, you are the superstar. Need support. You need support. You need people in your life. You need a support system. Seek help. Don't be shy to seek help. Don't be ashamed to seek help. It is not weakness to tell somebody that you need help in your business. For most people, because they want to achieve it all, or because they feel, oh, I cannot seek help, that's when they get to that place of feeling overwhelmed. When you talk to people, that's why you have mentors, you have coaches, you have friends, you have people who are in the same business with you, you have colleagues, you have comrades. Seek support. Don't get to a point whereby pride has filled you up, or you are so egoistic and you think you don't need help, you need support. I tell you, the best of a man is still a man. I will say that again. The best of a man is still a man. No matter how super you think you are, no matter how eloquent you are still a man. And by being a man, what I mean is you get tired, you get weak. There are days you wake up, you don't feel like it. These days are bound to happen in business. But by the time you have a support system, it won't show. Why? Because you have people who are lending you their strength, who are lending you their energy, who are even lending you their resources for you to keep carrying on. So seek support, ask for help, surround yourself with people who are willing to support and go out of your way to make your business become what it is. Because at the end of the day, in business, nobody survives alone. Nobody survives alone. You will need people to survive, because no matter what you are doing in business, it's either you are selling to people or you are buying from people. It's either you are talking to people or people are talking to you. And the ability for you to value people and surround yourself with the right people is key. Lastly, I will end with this, because this is something I talk on every day: the power of positivity. When you get to that point, you feel like you're tired, you're overwhelmed, you want to give up, I want you to begin to focus on the positive things in the business, the positive things in your journey. Begin to consume every positive material you can: positive books, positive conversation. Talk to people who can edify you positively. Because when our mind is so fixed on the negative things happening around you, that's when we get overwhelmed. That's when we get tired. I tell you, no matter the level your business is right now, it might not be to the level of growth you want, but there are still things that you can be grateful for. There are still things that has happened in your business that you can get excited about. There are still things in your business that you can celebrate. Oh yes, you are thinking about making $100,000 probably in a year, and maybe you're making $2,000, you're making $5,000 currently. You can still be grateful for that. There are people who are not making anything at all. Even if it's $1, it's a good to go. You can still celebrate the $1 you're making. There are people who are not making anything at all. And let me shock you, there are people who do not have a business. For the fact you have a business and the business is even failing, is not going well, it's something you should celebrate. Because it takes courage to own a business. It takes a whole lot of sacrifice, dedication, and commitment. It takes so much risk to own a business. And for the fact you can own a business, and even if the business is not going the way you want it to go, you have to celebrate it. When you begin to focus on the positive things, it changes the way you see things. It changes your approaches. It allows your mind to begin to see the good no matter what happens. That's why we always say in positivity, there's always endless possibilities. When you begin to consume positivity and embrace positivity, I tell you, the possibility that awaits you in your business is endless. It's enormous. So I encourage you, focus your mind on the positive in your business. Yes, the challenges might be there, the obstacles might be there, the stumbling blocks might be there, but there are still things in your business you can be grateful for. Celebrate it, embrace it. And I tell you, when you begin to do this, you are destined to not just bounce back, but to bounce forward and attain success in your business. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I'll give my back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right, all right. Thank you so much. That was powerful information. I was here taking notes. We appreciate all the information that you share with us, all the information you share with us all over the world. All right, so we're going to keep going. I'm going to recognize a few people before I bring up our next speaker. Welcome, Laverne. Laverne, good morning. Harish, good to see you. Carlene, welcome. Coral from England, welcome. We have Chidima, welcome. Elizabeth is here. Good to see you. Good morning. That from Ghana. All right, we have let's see, Eric Doby from Connecticut. Good to see you. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Jay Pascal is here. Welcome, welcome. We have Osigwe. Jeffrey, welcome. Lisa, good to see you. Mary Rose, good to see you. Welcome. Gladys, good to see you. I think I've seen you out 2-3 times this week. Good to see you, Gladys. Lisa, good to see you. Oh my goodness, we have people from all over the world. Keep putting in your comments in the chat. Tell us where you're zooming in from, and if you have any questions, put it in the chat. All right, so we are going to go to our next speaker. So we were just in Nigeria. Now we're flying all the way to Europe to hear from our next speaker. This is a gentleman that helped me a lot in my business on LinkedIn when I was about to quit LinkedIn. You know what I mean? Yes. And I was thinking about quitting LinkedIn, right? I said, this ain't working. I know that's not correct English, but I'm trying to be funny. This ain't working.
That is true.
You know, and but then I met him and he showed me the way. Okay, he showed me the way, and now I have thousands and thousands of people that follow me now on this platform. So he is the fame expert. He helps you become famous. All right. So if you're thinking of quitting, what you need to do is think about being famous instead, right? All right. So without further ado, any awesome, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your kind words as always, Mr. Eric. You know, I think we've all been in that place, right, where you do feel like giving up. You know, it is just part of business, as Eric said. I've been in business 10 years. I felt like giving up. Yes, several times. At the beginning, I thought there's no point doing this. But I learned many lessons. I'm sure a few months ago, I thought, it's not worth carrying on. But it's not true. It's not true, right? I'll tell you what I learned, my friend. I sent Eric a video this morning. So one of the most inspiring videos. It makes me cry, Eric. Like, literally, I'm like, oh, that's so emotional. Business is emotional, my friends. No, let's face the truth, right? And emotions are mostly hard. Let me say this. I think we need to understand the game we're playing. Many of us don't understand the game we're playing. You know, we have a different version of game in our head. Ooh, sneeze. Excuse me. Right. So look. So in the video, I think it shows you a few things about business, number one, but also the how you carry on and don't quit. So let me talk you through the video, because I think it's a journey we need to understand. The business journey is what we need to really know. So on that journey, I'll give you a few of the things I've learned along the process, which might help you. You know, so excuse me again. When you start a business, my friends, no one cares. No one cares. No one cares. Don't expect the world to say, yeah, you're starting a business, brilliant. They don't care. They'll look at you with that, oh, well, they're going to fail anyway. So you rock on, right? You know, understand that. You know, and when you begin, you need that commitment in your heart, in your soul, true commitment. You know, there's no plan B. No one says this. There's no plan B. There's no number. There's no what will I do if. There's no if. It has to work. All of us here is because we are so stubborn and we're so committed to our cause. I couldn't quit now because I spent too much money and I spent 10 years doing this business, right? And like I say, from day one, I thought, give it up, and it's fine. No, my wife didn't care. My kids definitely don't give a monkeys. My pets couldn't care less, right? So any get on with it. You know, I'm saying I'm gonna make it. I thought I was gonna make it in. I told my wife in 2 years we're gonna be on the beach. Don't worry, darling. We're gonna be the business and run itself, and we'll be millionaires. Everyone is marketing, Eric. Come on now. No, it didn't. It hasn't gone that way at all, right? For a long time, it's you against yourself, really. And I say that's for good reason, right? You know, be your cheerleader. Be your best cheerleader. You need one. You need many, right? The friends you make, my friends, they make a difference. You need people to keep you going during those hard times. If there's no one there, keep yourself going. Cheer yourself up. Cheer yourself, but because you're succeeding. Every day you've been in business, you've learned something. You've been in relationships. You're making some money. You're not making untold money, right? So that's what I said earlier. Those who give up are literally a step away from the success. Think of that for a second. You know, and this is so true in all. You know, it's in every business. I remember saying last time I thought about giving up, something, I learned mindset. Until then, I was going nowhere at all. But so, I will say to you, my friends, your biggest knowledge that you need to learn in business is you and your mindset, how you think. If you think you're gonna fail, you failed already. If you think, you're gonna give up, you've lost. Don't have those thoughts. Have no place in business. You can't give up. Your family is relying on you. You're relying on you. Your customers are relying on you. People you're here to serve are relying on you. Even God's relying on you to carry on. Truly believe and understand that giving up is not an option. What you must do is find a way to carry on. Regardless, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be the worst thing you've ever done, the hardest job you've ever done, the worst pain you've ever felt. So what? That's life, right? Keep at it. You must stay on stay on track. Learn, my friend. Learn. And that's the most important thing that I'll say to you today is get a coach, a business coach, a mindset coach. Even a wellness coach. Get a coach. The person who's truly there to give you advice that you don't know what you're doing, whether you like it or not. I didn't know what I was doing. I've always had a coach. I paid for a coach every year until now. Get a coach's help, and you're halfway there. Don't give up, my friends. That's not an option. When I do see you, my friend. Bye, everyone. I'll leave it there, Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. That was powerful. Wow. Like incredible nuggets that we're getting this morning. It's funny. It seems like this panel of speakers broke into my house last night. They went on my nightstand and picked up my notes because they said everything I was about to say. But it's all good. It's all good. You know why? Because I have stories. I have some stories to share with you. And in stories, no one can duplicate your stories, right? And so first of all, let me just shout out a few more people. Let me shout out a few more people. A lot of people here today. Let's see. Pastuline, sorry if I messed up your name, from Nigeria, welcome. Sherilyn, welcome. Let's see. Okay. Elizabeth, good to see you. Good to see you. Tracy, welcome. Amaka, welcome. Dr. Amaka, welcome. Good to see you. Mohammed, welcome. Alexis Skolov James. All right. She said giving up is not an option. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. All right. So, I've been in business now for about 25 years, roughly, right? And, for me, I knew from a very young age that I'm going to be an entrepreneur because my dad was an entrepreneur. His name was on the building, in Nigeria, his name was on the building. And I said, I want my name to be on the building. Right. So that's what I told my dad. I said, Dad, whatever I do, I want my name to be on the building. He said, well, then you have to be an entrepreneur because if you work at a job, your name won't be on the building. So I already knew. So I was willing to do whatever it took because I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. Right, my name was going to be on the building. Right, but guess what? I went through a lot of hardships. Look, let me tell you the biggest problem I had. When people said no, it used to hurt me. When people said no, not interested. Oh my goodness, that used to hurt me. Like, I can't believe it. I'm trying to help you and you're telling me no? Why would you say that? And then you get 2 no's and 3 no's and 4 no's. I'm like, oh my God. But then guess what I found out? It doesn't matter how many no's you get, right? What matters is the people that you're helping. So I don't care if you get 10 no's and then you help one person. That one person, the only person you need to worry about, right? I don't remember the names of anybody that said no to me in 25 years because it doesn't matter. But I remember my clients. I remember the clients I've helped. I remember the clients that sent me testimonials, right? So focus on the right things, right? Focus on the people that appreciate you, appreciate what you've done, right? Real quick, I'm going to give you 4 points real quick. Number one, make sure you engage in personal development on a regular basis. For me, it's daily, personal development daily. Why? Because we live in a negative world, right? So if your business isn't going well, and then your kid gets sick, and then your car breaks down, and then the door falls off the hinges, right? Now you're falling apart, right? But you have to be able to listen to positive information, read positive information, watch positive information on a regular basis to keep yourself inspired, right? So that's important. I use Audible a lot. I talk about it a lot, right? A book a week for me every single week, right? But everybody's different. There's YouTube, there's podcasts, right? So that's important. Number two, understand your why, right? Your why will make you focus more than anything, right? Will make you focus. If you have a goal, you have a dream, right? Your why will keep you focused. I remember last year I told my kids, I said, look, we're going to Jamaica next year, right? And and now I had to make it happen, right? Because the kids are expecting it, right? And then we were able to go last month, right? But you have to keep your why out there, whatever it is. What is making you do what you do every day? Okay, keep it in front of you. I put it on my computer. I put it on my phone. My why is on my wall. It's everywhere, right? So it's in my mind. I'm like, I'm gonna succeed. I'm gonna succeed, right? And I think Annie said it. No plan B. I don't have plan Bs. A lot of people have plan Bs. If this doesn't work out, then I'm gonna do this. I don't do that, because then you tend to just give yourself an excuse to fail. Why would you give yourself an excuse to fail? I said, I'm going to be a full-time entrepreneur. I'm going to help thousands of people all over the world. And that's exactly what happened, right? If I said, well, if that doesn't work out, then I'll try this, then it probably won't work out, right? All right. Number three, stay busy. Stay busy. Right? I don't have time to sit around and mope. I don't have time to get depressed. I don't have time. All those things happen to people. I don't have time. Look, I have a call at 8 o'clock right after this. I have a call at 9. I have a call at 10. I have a call at 11:30. I have a call at 2:30. I have a call at 3. I have a call at 4:30. I don't have time. Fill your calendar. Right? Just stay busy. Motion creates emotion. When you sit around and like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna buy, and that's the person you're talking to for the next week. Oh my goodness! If he doesn't buy, now you're depressed. Now you're like suicidal the whole week. You know what I mean? Stay busy. All right. Next is stay around like-minded people. I said something that made Annie laugh there. I don't know what I said. Stay around like-minded people, right? I'm always around people like Leah, like Annie, like Zion, right? Look, I attend, because I'm a full-time entrepreneur and I'm at home all the time. I work at home. I have to leave the house to go to masterminds, right? So there's a mastermind I go to in Florida once a year. There's one I did in New York just like 2 months ago, right? So I'm always going places to meet other successful entrepreneurs. So you want to network, you want to mastermind, and go out, meet people. Like Zoom is fine, but you want to meet people too, face to face, right? Be around like-minded people, right? I remember when I was writing my book right up there, The Home Business Boom, I didn't know anything about writing a book. So I joined a group of people that write books. And I'm like, oh, this is easy because everybody's writing books. I'm like, oh, I just sold another, 56 copies last night. I'm like, really? Right. So now I'm in the midst of these people. I'm like, I can do it too. Right. So you want to be around people that have achieved what you want to achieve, and stay away from people that are discouraging you from what you want to accomplish. Okay. All right. So that's what I want to share. At this time, this is what we usually do is we're going to go around the room. Our speakers are going to tell you how you can reach them, how you can get to know them, how you can connect with them. And then we're going to dive into your questions. So stick around. You don't want to miss any of this. All right. All right. So let's go around the room. Let's start with Leah Garcia.
Yes, my best social media, although I'm on all the channels, is LinkedIn. That's where you'll find me. That's kind of my home. You can also visit my Biz in a Box, which is a smart link like a website, but it's interactive. And take my financial quiz, find out your score, and download my free one-page financial plan, The Wall of Wealth. Back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. Zion, you want to go next?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Yeah, for as many persons that want to reach out to me, I'm always active on LinkedIn, Zion Inaugural. The only Zion Inaugural you will find on LinkedIn, Mr. Positive Energy. Do it to reach out to me. Let's go on a journey of positivity together. And every Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. West Africa time, I host my Positivity Live. So you want to join us live, you want to be part of the conversation, feel free to come and join us, and we are looking forward to see you there. So thank you so much, Mr. Eric. I yield it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Mr. Annie.
So mine's very simple. I've just put my link to my profile, LinkedIn, in the comments. So let's connect. LinkedIn's where I spend most of my time. So that's what and let's meet. And I'd love to meet you and find out what you do. And maybe do what we all ought to do, which is support each other. So I want to be that person that supports you, because you never know when you might need that support, when you might feel like giving up. We can all do that, right? It's free. Thank you so much, Eric.
Yes, absolutely. You're welcome. And by the way, that's how I met him, right? I was on a call, and he said what he just said, he said it that time. It was a couple of years ago, right? He said it. He said, just meet with me. Let's chat. I'm like, okay, let me chat with this guy, see what he's got to say. And changed everything. And that's how I met Zion. That's how I met Leah. If it wasn't him, I wouldn't have met these people, right? So when people say meet and learn something. Meet and learn something. All right. So for me, LinkedIn is probably the best way to get a hold of me. I'm on the other socials as well, Instagram too. But LinkedIn is probably the best way to meet me. I'm the CEO founder of studiospeaking.com. If you're a coach, an author, a speaker, a consultant, and you want to get your name out there, right? You want more visibility, you want more credibility, you want to be the authority in your industry, then go to studiospeaking.com, check out the videos, find out more about what we do, and apply to speak on my stage, right? Not only do you get to speak live in studio to an audience, you get the videos, right? We give you the curated videos, which means it's done for you, right? All your reels and everything, we do it for you, right? You'll get the pictures, we do it, photo shoot, all of that. And then also you get to meet with other speakers, coaches, and authors. Imagine going to breakfast, lunch, and dinner with all these folks, right? And then joining our mastermind, right? Lifetime. So now you're in our mastermind. You can meet, talk with them, collaborate every month. Imagine that, right? And then there are a lot of other things, but I'm not going to get all into it. But if you're interested in learning more, studiospeaking.com. All right. Also, I'm going to put in the chat my ebook. I have a special ebook that I wrote. Took 4 months to write it, and it's all about marketing, right? Because hey, like Annie said, you don't have a business if you don't know how to market, right? 100 ways to build your business, get more clients, leads, sales, all of that, right? I'll put it in the chat. It is successwitheric.com/100. That's the number, okay? Successwitheric.com/100, and Eric is with the C. And I'll put all that in the chat. All right. So now let's go to the questions, folks. Let's go to the questions. Let's see. Let me see who's first. Okay, I think it was Laverne was first. All right. So the question is, what's the best piece of advice you've received and applied for staying motivated and to keep going in your business? The best piece of advice. All right. Who'd like to share? Go ahead, Leah.
Yeah, this is a great question, Laverne. Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great question. Great question.
Yes.
For me, it was be the person you needed when you were younger. And when I was younger, grew up on food stamps and welfare, and we would go to neighborhoods where they had green grass and shiny cars. And I always wondered, how do they do that? How do they have that? So that was really for me. I'm always thinking about that little girl and being that hero for her when I was that little girl, right? So great question. Back to you, Eric.
Awesome. Who else would like to
share? I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I think the best advice I ever had was, Eric, can you hear me? Eric, can you hear? And Zion can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
yes.
Super. Right, so the best advice I ever had was the power of mindset. Truly, it's all in your mind. That was remarkable. I never knew that. I thought it's like a hamster. pedal faster, ride the wheel faster, keep going, do more. Go harder. Yeah, you'd have to keep moving, as Eric said earlier, right? But if your mind is telling you you can't do this, you're not going to do this. And my mind for so long was telling me, you can't do this. You don't know what you're doing. You're just going around in circles. Even though I had some of the best coaches, but in the end, I had to put it. Maybe another thing I would say is being honest with yourself. So many of us think we're doing everything, but we're not really. There's always more we can do. The essayists talk about
checking the internet. This is so exciting.
I'll let you do what you're doing, Eric. So the
This is so exciting. We're breaking the internet. Go ahead.
The essayists tell us that we give up around 40% of our capability, right?
Yeah.
So we barely get to 40% of what we're capable of before we give up. The advice is out there, my friends. You have to do is listen, learn, and implement, as the question said, right? Apply what you learn. But keep yourself up. It's up to you. No one's going to do it for you. I'll leave it there, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Zion, go ahead.
Yes.
Did you want to share?
Thank you. Mr. Eric, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm going to share two advice I've received being in business that has helped me stay motivated. The first one was, there is nothing impossible to a man that believes. That really struck me so hard, because it takes so much belief for you to achieve. What you don't believe in, you cannot achieve it. And you cannot achieve above your belief. So I have to keep believing. And as I'm believing, should always increase my level of belief, because the higher my belief, the higher I will achieve. And the second one was serve people. As simple as it is, serve people. And because I'm showing up to serve people, I'm always motivated, I'm always inspired, and it has really been kept going, every day of my life. So those were the two advice I received, in starting my business.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I spoke earlier about how I used to get hurt when people said no to me, right? So I was talking to a mentor of mine many years ago, about 20 years ago, and he said, you need people in your business to succeed, but you don't need any particular person. And that made me really think that, wow. So it doesn't matter who you're meeting. I don't care if you hear about this guy that can really change your life, and you're like, man, if he just buys, or if he's a new client, it's gonna change everything. Look, don't go into it thinking that that's your business. That's one person, right? Right? You need people, but you don't need any particular person. You don't need any particular person. Okay. Go ahead, Leah. Do you have something to say?
I was just saying hello to my friends, Alexis, Victoria. They're in the comments there.
You just
But there was another great question too. There was another great question. If you just go up, it's like, how do you know when it's just a low time, or if it's a time to pivot? I think that was Ordelia.
Oh, that's a good.
It's
Ordelia?
yeah.
Okay. Yes, I'll click on that right now. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So yeah. So Leah, you might as well start. You saw the question. You have a response for her, Leah?
So I would say a couple of things. Number one is, what you're doing still relevant? AI is changing so many industries. So is what you're doing still relevant, or has AI caused a disruption, and look for those disruptions? And then I would say, who is the top person in your industry, and what are they doing? Did they do a pivot? Are they making some kind of adjustments? Remember, it's just that 1 degree of separation. And then number 3, and this is the most critical one, does what you're doing still get you fired up? If you can tell, I'm fired up to talk about money, right? This is what I love doing. If it doesn't give you juice, if you're not still all excited, get up at 2:33 a.m., then maybe it's time to really make a pivot. So great question.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Who else? Go ahead, Annie. Go ahead.
I think the giving up idea should never cross your mind. You're trying to find a way to go forward. That's when you tend to pivot, because what happens normally is you have an opportunity suddenly come to you, and do you take it or don't you take it? If your idea, if your thought is, oh, I really can't do it, so I have to give up, and I'm gonna do something new. That's not gonna work either, by the way, because that's not how the life works. You have to have a passion for what you're doing. And Eric mentioned your why earlier. What is your why? Has your why changed? Maybe if your why has changed, then maybe you look at something else, right? Look, there comes a time when you have to give up, as Quilia said, to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. As the circumstances changed, maybe I should ask a better question. Have you given up on yourself? That's when you tend to give up on your business. If you haven't done that, then you're forever moving forward. Pivot is a good word to use for it, right? If you have to do something else to get there, do so. For me, I'm a marketer. Yeah. Until I came to that day Eric talked about, and I thought, LinkedIn's not working. I need to leave. Go and do some email marketing. Go and do some ads. Yeah. No, that wasn't the answer. LinkedIn, suddenly events came in. And I was like, I'm going to jump on the events. I can see how they're going to work. I see how they really work. And 3.5 years later, here I am, right? No, pivot is good. That's why I'll leave it there, Eric. I can carry on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Zan, go ahead.
Yes, Leah and Annie has hit the nail on the head. But there's one thing I want to share is there is no one perfect way to do things. And that's something you must understand. There is no one perfect way to say, oh, this is how it must be done. So when you say pivot, it's very welcome. You can try different routes to do things. But one thing you must not forget, it's your why. Why you started, why you are pushing the vision, the goal. You must keep that at your mind. Because at the end of it, that's what counts, in achieving success. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you. I yield my back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. So for me, one thing I will say is when you're at a low point, you want to get around people that are at a high point. Okay. Because that will inspire you. Call a successful entrepreneur, right? Don't take advice from the wrong person. Right. Don't call your broke uncle. Say uncle. No, my business is falling apart. I don't know if I should keep doing it. And you know what he'll say? He'll say, yeah, you know what? Maybe it's not for you. Just quit. And by the way, do you have $1 I can borrow? I say it jokingly, but that's what happens. We take advice from the wrong dude. Don't do that. Take advice from someone that's having success, because there are people out there having success. All right. Appreciate that. All right. So let's see. I think we have a question. We'll have time for maybe one more. Okay. That one people have already asked. To understand in the same shoes. Okay.
There was a question that said, what do you do how do you stay consistent when your personal challenges disrupt your schedule?
Wow. Why don't I see these questions? You see, that's a good question. Who asked that?
It was up there. It was a little while back, but it is up
who asked
there.
That question?
I don't remember who asked it. It started with an L. Might have been Leslie.
Okay, so anyway.
Or Linda. She put a question in there.
Okay, so what the question again is? Repeat it again.
What do you do? How do you stay consistent when your personal challenges disrupt your schedule?
Okay, personal challenges. Okay, good. All right, awesome. Who wants to speak to that, or do you want to start?
I could kick it off.
There we go. It's Carlene.
Carlene. Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. So who'd like to
Queen
start?
Leah, please. Queen Leah, I give you the mic.
For me, I love setting up my night the day before. My day the night before, and I write down the top three priorities that I have to get down no matter what. And I'll tell you a quick story. Have my day going on. My precious grandson had an issue. I had to go to the Central Valley, which is like an hour and a half from where I am, take care of that situation. And then by that time, it was like 4 o'clock. And what did I do? I went to my top three. Okay, do your top three, and then you still feel like you're having success. So that's a great way that I use to track myself. Hopefully that helps, Carlene.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, awesome,
Who
awesome,
else?
yeah, awesome for sure.
Round
Look, my friend, it was mentioned earlier that Zion says it prays. We all pray, by the way. We all pray. I promise you. I'll come around to it now, right? We all pray. But there's the other way where you can talk to God. It's called meditation. Meditate. Give yourself peace of mind. Quieten your mind. And just, I guess, when you meditate, you tend to restate your why. You tend to restate your goals. You envision you have a vision of your dreams. I saw this because personal challenges, as you call it, they will come into your business. They will come into your life, right? We're still lifing. Yeah, but we must stay consistent to our business. It's easy to let our situations spiral downwards into negativity. That's what we must avoid. Whereas, so by meditating, you can keep yourself positive. Find joy in the things that life gives you amongst the chaos. I'll leave you with this. There's one thing I always say is there's certain things that must survive in this lifetime of mine, right? Number one, my business. Number two, my customers must get the service they need. Number three, I'm still going to be here. Commit to those things, you keep going, my friends. Despite your challenges, solve your challenges and then come back to your business. Don't give up on your business.
Awesome. Thank you. Zan, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Eric, and thank you, Leah, Annie, for what you've shared. One thing I've learned about consistency in business and in relation to personal life, consistency is not about showing up every day. It's about doing the right thing at the right time. Doing what you need to do when you need to do them. So most persons mistake consistency by, I have to show up every day. I have to be there every day. It can get so overwhelming. But like Leah said, make sure you prioritize. What are the things you need to do and when do you need to do them? Because at the end of the day, personal challenges will always come. I should tell you, being on this event every Monday, we all have things we are supposed to be doing at this point in time. Things might happen, emergency might come, but we knew at this time we have to do this at this point in time. So no matter what happens behind the scene, we show up when we need to show up. So that's what consistency is all about. It's not about coming up every day and be there, but make sure you prioritize and do what you need to do when you need to do them. So that's my take on that. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. I yield my back to you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think everybody has gone. All right. Welcome, Latoya. My good friend Latoya is here. Good to see you. All right. Welcome. All right. So here's what I'm gonna give you some tough love. Yeah, that's what I do, right? This is what I do. When I have personal challenges, I say to myself, I'm not gonna make this an excuse to fail. I'm not going to make this an excuse to fail, because there are people, Carlene and all of you, that are going through what you're going through. They've gone through worse than what you're going through, and they still made it. So don't let your reasons become your excuses. Right? I have 4 kids, Eric. You don't understand. With 4 kids, how am I supposed to run a business? People have 6 kids and I run a business, right? Are you going to use your kids as an excuse to fail or a reason to succeed? Right? Well, you don't understand, Eric. My car always breaks down. Well, guess what? I used to have a car that always broke down. Believe it or not, yeah, right? But I didn't let that stop me. I found a way. And by the way, it's easier now than it's ever been. Like literally. Like I'm not joking. You gotta think I'm joking. I'm going to meet 7 people today online. We didn't have this when I started business, like on Zoom like this. Like we had to drive down to meet somebody at the Starbucks. Like sometimes you drive an hour and a half to meet somebody and he doesn't show up. If anybody here doesn't show up, doesn't matter. I just go to the kitchen and have something to eat. Get a drink, right. So my, and I don't mean to be insensitive in any way. I don't mean to be insensitive, but I have to give you tough love because people use all kinds of reasons, all the reasons they make it their excuses all the time, right? Well, Eric, you don't understand. I have a demanding job, so I can't do this business. We all did. I had a demanding job before I went full time, right? We all did, right? Or you can find another job that's not as demanding, but don't use that as an excuse not to succeed, because that excuse will have all the power in your life, right? All the power. Like let them know the 4 kids, right? I have 4 kids, so I can't build my business. You just gave all the control away. In other words, you can never be successful as long as you have those 4 kids, because in your mind you've convinced yourself that it won't happen, right? So I want you to you may have to take a little break, right? Take a little break. Someone told me that they were taking care of a sick relative. I understand that that's important. You may have to take a break, right? But don't quit on your dreams. Don't quit on your dream. So sorry, we won't be able to get into the other questions, but I just felt I had to share that, because a lot of people, they quit because something happened in their life, and they don't understand that it happens to all of us. We all have problems. I know when you go on Instagram, it looks like everybody's life is great but yours. No, they're having problems too. When they buy a new car, they show the picture of the car in the driveway with the bow on it. And you're like, oh my God. When the car gets repossessed, they don't show the guy taking the car away. They don't show that. They don't show the guy hooking it up and taking it away, right? So don't think everybody's living an amazing life. Everybody's going through problems just like you. Trust me on that. Trust me. All right. So sorry for that little monologue, but I just think I had to share that. So I appreciate everybody. So in 2 minutes, okay, can you guys put in the chat the best way to reach you? Because I wanna show everybody. So Leah, Annie, let's see. I think I know someone already did it. Let's see. Yeah, I just wanna highlight that. Okay, so Leah, I see yours. Okay, so that's Leah right there. LeahGarcia.io. Okay, Leah Garcia.
I've done mine.
Right.
I did mine before. I did mine earlier. I did mine earlier. Yes, but I'll do it again.
Yes, I'll do it
again. There you go.
Yes, I see it. I just highlighted. So LinkedIn for any awesome. Yes, it's showing up. Okay. And then let's see. And then I know I don't know if Zion put it in there, but Zion and Agro. Just go to our page, click on it. And by the way, guys, be intentional, right? Click on it, follow us. If you want to contact us, right? Just be intentional. All right. Zion, very good. Zion, awesome. And then Leah. All right. And if you're on here live, put in hashtag live, put it in the chat, hashtag live. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay. Make sure you share this with other people, folks. Okay. If you are on today, we do this for free for you, but all we ask is that you share this with others. All right. We have, I don't know, we may have 100 people on today in different platforms, but we want to have thousands. And we can do that by the end of the day if everybody shares it with 3 people. Right. So share with at least 3 people. All right. So appreciate everybody. We will see you same time, same place. Monday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time. It has been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be with you this morning. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.